So, we like to dive deep into some pretty wild stories, but this one really surprised me. I mean, it's not every day you hear about the wife of a rock star, and I mean, a pretty big rock star, being involved in a shooting with the LAPD.
Yeah. No, you're not kidding. It's definitely one of those headlines that makes you stop and think, wait, what?
Exactly. So, Gillian Schreiner, if you don't know, is married to Scott Schreiner, the bassist for Weezer.
Right, right.
And, I immediately thought of you in our conversations about, understanding these complex situations. And I knew we had to break this one down.
Absolutely. And,
Mhm.
the more we dug into those initial reports, it became clear there's just so much we still don't know about what happened.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to do today is lay it all out, what we know so far and what's still missing from this story and just try to understand what it means for us, for anyone trying to make sense of these kinds of incidents. And the thing that gets me is it seems like the cops weren't even there for anything to do with Gillian Schreiner in the first
Yeah.
place, right?
Right. From what we've gathered, the LAPD and the California Highway Patrol, they were actually searching for some people who were suspected of being involved in a hit and run.
A hit and run.
Yeah, apparently on the 134 freeway near the Figueroa exit. That seems to be where this whole chain of events got started.
Okay, so they're on the freeway chasing after a hit and run, and then somehow that leads them to Gillian Schreiner in like a totally different place. How does that even happen?
Well, that's where things get a little murky. The reports suggest that this search for the hit-and-run suspects took the police to a neighborhood in Eagle Rock, and it was there specifically in the backyard of a house that they encountered Jillian Schreiner.
A backyard?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's interesting because the early reports weren't totally clear on whether it was her house or a neighbor's house, and, that little detail adds a whole other layer to this whole
Oh,
thing.
for sure. That changes things a lot. Okay,
Yeah,
so they find her in this backyard, and then what happens? Because this is where the story starts to get pretty crazy.
it does. So the LAPD, their official statement says that when they saw Miss Schreiner, she was holding a handgun,
Hmm?
and they say they told her to drop it, verbally commanded her to drop the weapon. But according to the police, that's when she allegedly pointed that gun right at them.
Pointed the gun at the police. Wow, that's a serious escalation from their perspective. And how did they react?
Well, the reports say that after she allegedly pointed the gun at the officers, they fired their weapons, and Jillian Schreiner was hit in the shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
And then after being shot, she reportedly ran back inside the house.
I mean, that is just such a scary situation, to think about for everyone involved. But thankfully, the reports did say that her injuries were not life-threatening, which is, a little bit of good news in all of this.
Definitely. I mean, it's important to remember that this is just the beginning of trying to understand what happened, but the fact that her injuries weren't life-threatening is a relief.
Right. So you have this woman connected to a big-time musician, and the LAPD ends up shooting her, but she wasn't even the person they were originally looking for. So what did they find out about why she was there or if she was involved in the hit and run at all?
Well, this is where it takes another turn. The LAPD, they came out pretty quickly and said that Jillian Schreiner had absolutely nothing to do with that hit and run.
Oh, wow.
And they also confirmed that the house she ran into after being shot was actually her own home.
Oh, okay. So it was her house.
Yeah. So that initial bit about the neighbor's backyard, it seemed like that was just, preliminary information before they had the full picture.
Right, right. So they encounter her on or very near her property. And what about the gun they said she was holding? Did the reports give any more details about that?
They did say that a 9mm handgun was found in the house. But here's the thing, and this is a big one. The reports we looked at, they don't actually confirm whether Ms. Schreiner fired the weapon at the officers or not. They just say she pointed it at them. But did she pull the trigger? We don't know yet.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, pointing a gun and actually shooting it are two totally different things, and it makes a huge difference in how you understand what happened. What about the people who live in the neighborhood? Did anyone see what happened right after the shooting?
Yeah, there were some eyewitness accounts, and they talked about a really heavy police presence in that